Thank you. And our final questioner today is Mr. Kiley from California.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Tresselt, I also would just like to reiterate the Chairman Wahlberg's statements regarding a tree care standard. We did a bipartisan letter on this last year. It's been a long time coming, and I would hope that OSHA would move expeditiously to finally make this happen. You know, one of the things we saw in the Biden administration was that OSHA was focusing on a lot of things that did not really relate to safety. They were doing COVID rules well after the pandemic was over. They, of course, were coming up with regulations to help out political allies. They even, of course, tried to do an illegal vaccine mandate that would have affected tens of millions of employees across the country. That was struck down by the Supreme Court. And actually, in one of the most stunning moments of the 118th Congress, the OSHA director, Douglas Parker, who, by the way, had come up from California's OSHA and had actually instituted a lot of the crazy COVID rules in California, he came and testified before this very subcommittee and actually tried to deny that any vaccine mandate had ever been issued. It was like something out of Orwell. It was down the memory hole, never happened, was never initiated, was never promulgated when the Supreme Court actually took up the case and struck it down. It was truly a remarkable moment. But getting back to the tree care standard, you, I think, gave a very compelling explanation, Mr. Tresselt, of why this is needed and sort of the mystifying delay that we've all experienced. I want to just give you a chance to maybe cast a little more light on your participation in the 2020 panel, because I understand there was a broad array of stakeholders, you had a lot of input, there was a consensus standard for how we could protect workers in an industry where the chances of a fatal accident or incident are 30 times greater than in any other industries, and where the work of the industry is so important towards the safety of communities when it comes to fire mitigation and other purposes. So if you wanted to share your experience.
Well, the Sabrifa panel was, thank you. Gosh, I appreciate the question. The Sabrifa panel was a very broad base of industries and all have a stake in what we were doing. But it was very clear at the end when the conclusion was the ANSI Z133 should be the framework that we need to work with to build a standard for OSHA. And having that in place would help us tremendously, protect our workers. We're here to, I know I am for myself and my team and my company, my small company. I want people to go home at night. I want them to enjoy their lives and to go home to their kids and their families and their dogs and their cats and their friends and have the barbecue on the weekend. And all of this means that we have to work diligently as employers to keep them safe. And the hazards that we face in tree care are tremendous. We work in public spaces. We work aloft. We work with a lot of machinery. So all of this being said, the Sabrifa panel said, you're right, we should do this. This should be happening. And as the other congressman said, we've been fighting for this for 20 years. And we're not looking to be regulated, we're looking to be helped, because we want to keep our people safe. We don't want to have fatalities. We want to reduce the amount of injuries. We want to do the things that are right for our people, and we need OSHA's help. And we're not asking OSHA to reinvent the tree care wheel. We're asking them to paint it their color. Make it something that we can all use to keep people safe.
Right now, you're sort of left to your own devices, and I'd imagine that you have inspectors who come in and are sort of trying to apply standards, regulations that are not specific to your industry, and that kind of leaves you guessing as to what exactly you're supposed to do, or maybe trying to tailor your practices to a standard that doesn't really fit. Is that what you've experienced?
Absolutely. So there is no standards directly for tree care, so that's a patchwork of standards that they pick from and pick and choose, and sometimes that's problematic. Take, for the example, the use of a crane when you take down a tree. We have trees that are very compromised. They're very dangerous to climb. We can't climb those, or we can't get aerial lifts to them or things like that. So we use a crane to access a climber who will actually go into the tree and then safely dismantle and remove it. But the general duty clause says, no, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that, that you can't use the crane, to put a man or a person into the tree to do that, which then makes it almost impossible to remove the tree safely, because now we're at a crossroads where We can't do it safely, or we have to jeopardize worker safety. And when it comes to my business, we don't jeopardize worker safety. We would either refuse to do the tree or find something else. There really is a lot, and we have our hands tied at times, and we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing. Z133 supports it. It's been approved. It's an industry consensus standard. We can do it safely. We've done it safely. Crane use has been used in our industry for over 50 years.
Thanks very much. We will keep advocating for it, and I yield back.